The root cause of McLaren's double disqualification in the Las Vegas Grand Prix lies in the team's cautious setup choices inadvertently triggering unexpected porpoising. McLaren drivers Lando, Norris, and Oscar Piastri were disqualified from second and fourth in Vegas after their cars breached F1's rules around minimum skid block thickness after the race. The team's initial explanations on Saturday night in Vegas, then again on Thursday ahead of this weekend's race in Qatar, were that there had been unexpected aerodynamic oscillations, porpoising, causing the car to ground excessively over the course of the race. McLaren has also been emphasizing the margin it took in setting its car up for qualifying and the race, after limited dry running in practice, because the root cause of the excessive wear was not the car running too low, which is what would typically be assumed when a car is too aggressive on its plank. As Norris said on Thursday in Qatar, "The issue was the porpoising. It wasn't because we were just running low. Sometimes it can be the opposite." McLaren's cautiousness on the setup most likely means running slightly higher rear ride height than normal, and while it seems counterintuitive, running the car higher ultimately caused more wear because of what it led to. What dry running there was in practice had not indicated to McLaren that it would suffer from porpoising, which is a rapid series of detachments and reattachments of the airflow under the floor, causing it to rise up then get sucked back to the ground again several times per second. Porpoising was initially a major problem at the start of the ground effect rules in 2022 but has only occasionally been a talking point since 2023. In Vegas, it unexpectedly returned for McLaren to such a severe extent that those oscillations were causing significant impacts with the track surface. The slightly higher ride height it pitched the car at for Vegas, combined with the high speed and bumpy nature of the circuit, moved it into a window where it was vulnerable to porpoising, which can be triggered in different ways. For example, bumps in the track surface can initiate airflow disruption. Had McLaren actually been more aggressive with its ride height choices, it probably would have been better off in terms of the eventual skid where it suffered. This is what Norris alluded to on Thursday when he said, "In some ways you can almost say we didn't take enough risk." Again, it is slightly counterintuitive to suggest running lower would wear the plank less, but that is because of the specific problem McLaren suffered, which speaks to the complex nature of these cars and the physics involved. The car would have been lower, but would not have been grounding so aggressively as the porpoising phenomenon would probably not have been triggered. That also partly explains why the attempted mitigation to lift and coast at the fastest parts of the track, so the car was not pulled to the track surface as much and would theoretically ground less, was not very effective. In fact, in some places, it made it worse. This again suggests that higher rear ride height was a confounding factor, as the rear would run higher when lifting off throttle. It's not as simple as just looking at it and going, "Ah, they did that and that's why they are quick," Norris said when asked if McLaren could take risks with the ride height in Qatar and Abu Dhabi after the disqualification. "In fact, we were slower because of the issues that we had, not quicker." Every team, when you're in Formula One, you're fighting for race wins and everything, you always have to push things to the limit. That's not meaning that's exactly what we did in Las Vegas, because it's a lot more complicated than that.